As America has evolved, Republicans have gotten dumber and dumber and dumber. They've been raised on fantasy and fairy tales, religious dogma that has no connection to reality, science, or fact. That is a big problem. They have literally been teaching people to be dumber. It's quite fascinating.
When we're talking about no more Reagan-esque power that comes from strength, power through strength, well, then we're talking about our very existence. So no, we're not going to chill. In fact, it's time to drill, baby, drill down and hold these folks accountable. His power, his passion, it's the fabric of America, and it's woven by work ethic and dreams and drive and faith in the Almighty. What a combination. Are you ready to share in that again, Iowa? Because that's what's going to let you make America great again. No more pussyfooting around. Our troops deserve the best. You deserve the best.
And now Republicans have gotten to a point where they are too stupid to manage their own stuff. They're split into three factions, or micro-cults at this point. The main GOP body, the anti-American terrorist religious cult as a whole. That is cut into three pie segments of nearly equal size. The first section of that, which is pretty astonishing, and the GOP did this all by themselves, gave power and rise to these independent factions or micro-cults within their cult. The first of those is the Kooks. They're racist, bigoted, deranged. They want to ship Muslims back. They don't want blacks here. They don't like Asians. They really don't like anyone. They don't even like themselves. The kind of hate required to dislike your fellow human beings that much is pretty extraordinary. When you're that intolerant and that fucked up in the head, you've got some serious issues. And they're not just from a lack of education or understanding. They go beyond ignorance and stupidity. They go into the realm of mental illness or having such a lousy upbringing that you actually think those are values or morals. For instance, Sarah Palin's daughter, Bristol, a walking sperm receptacle who traipses around the country as an abstinence spokesperson. I mean, the idiocy of it is incredible, but these people, they're receptive of that. The person who's fucked up the most, who's still continuing to fuck up, just had her child taken away from her for such parental neglect. This is their role model for abstinence. This is the culture you're dealing with when you're a Republican. This is what's inside your cult. This is your nest. These are your little chicks. These are what you're feeding. And this is what you're growing. And you've done it all yourself.
I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. That's true. Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
So now you've got the Kooks, racist creep faction. You've got essentially the dumbest fuckers on earth. You've got first of the three, the Kooks, the KKK racist types, fascist white trash. Then you've got the tyrannical, psychotic, religio-psychotic religious kooks. The group of those are the dictatorial, tyrannical idiots, the ones who want to control everything and then talk about freedom. They obstruct, they dictate, they control. When they don't get their way, they go psycho. They are the Talibangelicals, and they wish to force their personal private dogma onto everyone. Not just Americans, onto everyone. They have missionaries. They go offend people overseas and try to force them to read their dogma over the dogma that was instilled in those people from their beginnings. It's really creepy. So they're dictatorial tyrants, the religious faction. So you've got the Kooks, then you've got the religious psychotics. The remaining faction of that pie, that third that's left, is rapidly shrinking. Some of it's becoming independent, some of it's becoming Democrat. It's shifting really quickly, too. Americans who consider themselves Republican are only 23% to begin with. So you cut that pie into thirds, you're looking at roughly just over 7%. So that white, racist Kook faction is a sliver of America. 7%, maybe less. They're just loud and obnoxious and violent and criminal, as we see from the Donald Drumpf events.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
So now you have that third turning more rational, becoming more moderate, less extreme, more tolerant, more aware of how America is changing. And this is the trend. You're either with us or against us. That's what George Bush said. Now, we don't believe that. You can go off on your own. That's what America is. But when you go off on your own, realize you're going off on your own. This country is about unity, about acceptance, about tolerance, about welcoming everyone. That's what we are. That's the whole foundation of this country. So if you stand against that, you should go on your own and walk away. In fact, walk away so far that you cross one of our borders leaving the country, because you're not looking to live here. You're looking to not live here. And that's really what you deserve. Republicans brought all of this on themselves. They deserve all of these crazy candidates. This is what they cultivated. This is what they've got. This is exactly what they deserve. You're not going to vote Republican if you're a normal human American. Simply won't. Look at the candidates. You'd be crazy to do that.
You don't favor a rape or an incest exception to abortion, and for people like Lee, this may be a problem in getting behind President Ted Cruz, that they think you may be too far right on social issues.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion, yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.